Welcome to my channel Living Linux. In an earlier video I showed you that I was able to build Blender 3.6 on my ARM Rockchip RK3588, and I also tried to build Blender 4 and more specifically Blender 4.5 as I was hoping to use Vulkan, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get that working. Now, I did notice that Blender is also available in the Debian repository, and I tried to run it on the ARM Rockchip RK3588 single board computer, and I did some tricks to make it think OpenGL 4.6 is available, but in the end that didn't work. I clicked on continue anyway, and then Blender just quit. So not really sure if it's because of this warning or that it is something else, but yeah. Think that was Blender 4.3, so yeah, I'll keep an eye on it, and hopefully at some point we'll get Blender 4.5 available in the repository, and then let's see if we can get that working with Vulkan. So that's that part. So, but as it looked like that, let's just say the ARM architecture is no longer a problem, but OpenGL 4.6 is. So I also have a Phytium D2000 with an AMD Radeon RX550, and that one has OpenGL 4.6 support, as you can see here. And as I said, it's Blender is available in the repository. So let's start Blender. So in this case, I'm running Ubuntu 24.04, so that one has Blender 4.0 in the repository. And let's try a demo scene. And that's actually Cozy Kitchen. It will take some time until it is fully loaded. So here it loaded the scene. Now if we go to the render options, yeah, default it wants to use a denoiser, which is a good idea, but yeah, it seems that the default denoiser, it doesn't really build so easily on ARM. They say that it should be possible to do so, but likely requires some manual work. So yeah, unfortunately I wasn't able to build it either, so no denoiser at the moment. So if we still try to render the image, then it will load all the objects, and then at some point it says that it wasn't built with the denoiser. So here you can see build without open image denoiser, so that's not going to work. So if we disable the denoiser, then we can render the image. So it will load the objects again. And then you can see sample 0 of 128. So it will do it in 128 steps. And it starts with a very, very noisy image. And then with every step, the picture will look better. But I already rendered this one earlier. So let's just say with 128 steps, you get an image like this, and especially with, let's just say, the shadows, where it mixes in, let's just say, black to make it look a bit darker, then it gets really noisy. I also tried it with 256 steps. It is slightly better, but I'd say it's not really worth it if you consider that this takes twice as long, and I don't think you can really say that this is really, from a quality perspective, twice as good. So if we go back, this one has a bit more noise, this one looks a bit more smooth, but I'd say it's not really 2 times more better looking. So I also tried with the EV render engine, and well, the good part is that doesn't have any noise, at least not really visible to me. But yeah, I think they say that the EV render engine is more for like just have a quick look, not really to have like production quality. And I think that the contrast between what is in focus and what is out of focus is a bit yeah, exaggerated. But yeah, at least there's no real noise. And perhaps you can say that this shadow is perhaps a bit too dark. So I don't know how far this one is. Oh, well. So let's see if we can end it. Okay. So yeah, it's a pity that I don't have the denoiser working on ARM. So for instance, what you can do, because I looked around and some people suggested to use the denoiser of Gimp. So if we open it with Gimp, so here we go. Okay, so you can see that it still has some considerable level of noise. And I think, yeah, we can go to filters, gmig cute, and then we can search for denoise. Oops. And well, I tested a couple of them, not all of them, but I think I got some decent results with this one. So let's just say radius 5. And this preview is not exactly what you get on the image itself, but it gives you an impression. So let's just say apply. And here it also says that the preview is inaccurate. And well, this really looks like a, well, almost like watercolor image, but here we have it, the actual result, and it is considerably less noisy. I think one of the things is that it still has a problem with straight lines, and perhaps if you use an AI denoiser, that one probably can recognize straight lines better. So if you have yeah, any good options for denoising, then just let me know in the comments. So the good part is that yeah, Blender is available in the Debian repository, and well, it does mean that you don't have the latest and the greatest, so we'll have to wait until we can try Blender 4.5 from the Debian repository. Yeah, I might have a go at trying to install Blender from a PPA. I already had a quick look at it, but that one, the one that I found, it already said like, yeah, it builds on top of other PPAs. So yeah, from my perspective, it was yeah, a bit too risky to go down that rabbit hole, and keep your fingers crossed that nothing breaks when you start installing things on top of a PPA on top of another PPA. So, but anyway, perhaps that's I might try to do it somewhere in the future, and there's also no guarantee that they actually have an ARM build in those PPAs. So again, but the good part is that we have Blender in the Debian repository. As soon as I have an easy way to get to Blender 4.5, I want to try it again on my ARM Rockchip RK3588 with Vulkan and see if I can get that working. Yeah, it's also a bit of a mystery if we can get the denoiser working on ARM. So yeah, we're making steps in the right direction. We're not really at the finish line, but yeah, I thought this was interesting enough to make a video. So this is all for now, and I hope to see you again in my next video.